Mic check. How do I do this here? Why is this so uh, difficult? Why are things so difficult? Hey, Frank, how are you? Hello, women rule period. Young Lenny, Armand, the bass. I see you all. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. Why is this so difficult? Messenger video. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, no, Phyllis, we're not ready yet. We're not ready yet. Okay. All right, so we are live in the studio, and I have my special guest with me. Um, I'm just getting situated on. Oh, did they really? Oh, I didn't know that. See, people, nobody tells me. I guess I should know this stuff. The Brooklyn Nets won yesterday. Oh, see, you know what it is? I'm not okay. Listen, I was busy. I was busy. Okay, let me get this. Let's get this up and then we can get into all that. Why can't I do this? What's going on here? Why is this so difficult right now? I'm on Facebook. And why is this? Did they take my live away? What's happening here? All right, we'll figure it out. The Knicks lost. Well, I'm not surprised about the Knicks, but what's happening with this? Why can't I go live here? Did they ban me? Am I banned on Facebook? I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Keep getting shut down. All right, we'll figure it out. Oh, well, anyway, welcome. It is a hot day in NYC. We're in Brooklyn today. And ooh, it is hot today. I don't know if anybody caught that, but it's hot. The mic just touched me. I am here with my special guest. You can see me good? Yeah? Okay, good. So we're going to have Phyllis Spencer call in, but we do have the bishop in the house today. Yes, 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 yes. Hello, pull up to the microphone and introduce yourself to the peoples.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? It's Bishop Lamar Miller Whitehead.
Welcome, 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 welcome. I thank you so much for your time today. You are a busy man. You are one very busy man because not only are you, thank you, Mr. Gammons, not only are you the bishop of your church in Canarsie, you're also
Running.
married,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And your wife is pregnant. Shout out to Lady Asia Whitehead.
hmm
And you got a lot going on. And if that isn't enough,
Uh-huh.
you also have a lot of other things. But
Oh,
what
oh.
else are you doing? What else are you doing with your life these days?
Running to be the next Brooklyn Bowl president. Yeah.
Where are the hand claps for
Yeah.
that?
We about to take Brooklyn.
Yes, yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. So before we even go there, I want to back up a little bit, right? Because I'd love to get your story,
Mhm.
right? I I read your bio, very interesting.
Yeah.
How certain things found you, but I want you to just touch a little bit on that and tell the people a little bit about who you are and what your ministry is based on.
Well, my ministry is based on first who I am. My name is Bishop Lamar Miller Whitehead, and I'm just a product of what God has done. There's so many people that don't believe in what God say about us, that I think I am a product of what God said about me. You know, my ministry is Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries, and God has been really gracious to me, and He's done great things. I'm married.
Mm,
I've been married 2 years now to
beautiful.
my first lady, Lady Asia Whitehead, and I have 3 children. I have 3 children. I have a 13-year-old boy, 13-year-old girl, and a 6-year-old, and I have one on the way. Yeah, so God has really been gracious to us. Yeah, yeah,
Shout out to procreation.
God has been gracious to us, and this is.
No, wait, no, I just want to jump in. So the baby that's on the way,
Uh-huh.
right? She
Yeah.
was made during the pandemic, or he, I don't know if it's a she or he, I'm guessing here.
Yeah.
If that baby was created
Uh-huh.
during the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Right. So do you have any special names picked out? You're not, we know you're not going to call her Rona or
you,
him Rona.
you know the crazy thing about it, right? I actually asked my wife yesterday. I said, do you have any names that you're suggesting? And she said, no, not yet. So that's a conversation for us to have. I'm sure
Ongoing.
it's going to be connected to something biblically.
Yes. Yes, as it should.
Yeah, it's going to be connected to some biblically, and it's I'm excited. I'm just excited of what's coming, what's to come.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm just really
That's so
excited.
beautiful. This will be your fourth time as a dad,
Yes.
and you're still excited about it.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
is so
yeah, yeah. I
beautiful.
told my wife at least one more.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
at
know
least one
that's
more.
right.
At
Very
least one
nice.
more.
Very nice. Okay,
Mhm,
so I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just had to go there with that. Your
mhm.
story is just so amazing. Your ministry and now you're running for Brooklyn Borough president. Like, how does that go together?
Yeah, this
Did you
is
just wake up and say, "You know what?
yeah,
I don't have enough things on my plate. Let me sign up to be a candidate for the next borough president of
president,
Brooklyn."
right?
How does that happen?
Well, it didn't happen just like that. But what happened is, the Lord has really been gracious to me, and even when we couldn't identify it was God, um, it was still God, and growing up in Brooklyn, I'm 43 years old. It was rough growing up. My father, when I was 6 weeks old, he was beat and strangled to death by 16 police officers because of the color of his skin. And that right there have been hallmark in my life because being a young African American man, not understanding the other 50% of your DNA is very traumatizing. It's
Mm,
very it breeds insecurity, it
mm,
breeds a lot of different things. And but my mom and my grandma, my sister, they raised me to be an integral young man. And then moving forward, I was into real estate, big into real estate. I'm still into real estate.
mm-hmm,
Um, and then I was illegally convicted. I was sent away to prison for 11 and 34 years, because the district attorneys in Long Island, which is a very racist county in Suffolk County. Didn't know anything about it, but they used a statute to indict me, and they used the broken down justice for black men, black and
mm,
brown men,
mm.
to try to destroy my life. But God has been gracious to me, and I was able to file my own motion and get it reversed.
Wow.
So I'm here today, and in
Wow.
actuality, my earliest release date would be next month this year. Yeah, and I'll be home this month. Excuse me, next month I'll be home 8 years. And
Wow.
prophetically, um, eight eight means new beginning.
Mm-hmm.
In Bible, new
Mm-hmm.
beginning. And this is the 8th year that I'm home, and on the ballot, I'm the eighth person.
I saw that. I saw that. I saw that.
So we moving towards new
But
beginnings.
8 is also infinity.
All right, there you go. I don't know that piece, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
So this is just something great. It's a great story. It's from the prison to the pulpit to the
Mm-hmm.
office of the bold president.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the youngest and the first bishop ever to become the president of over 2.6 million people, and this race is for us. This race is for the underdog. This race is to bring back the voice to the voiceless. People say, "Your bishop," they always turn their back on us, right? Are you gonna turn your back on us?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I can't turn my back on you, because if I turn my back on you, I turn my back on myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I told them that I'm going to be donating my entire salary back to the community.
Wow. Very
So
nice.
yeah, I want the people to understand that I'm here for the cause. So
Very nice.
that's who I am, and I'm sure you got a lot of questions, and we'll be able to get more things out about me.
Yeah, so one of the questions that I did have was, or a statement that I wanted to say is, I think what makes you the perfect candidate for Brooklyn borough president is because of the shoes that you've walked in,
Right.
right? So
Right.
you have the perspective not just of, someone coming from a ministry,
Hmm.
but someone who's been in prison. You know what that what that feels
Consist of.
like.
Yes.
Right. So
Yeah.
you've been there. You've rubbed elbows. Reminds me of somebody else I know.
Who's that?
That
Jesus.
yes,
Yeah,
that rubbed
Jesus. Martin Luther
exactly.
King,
Exactly.
Mandela.
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
go on and
So
on.
exactly. That's why I think you are a great candidate for the role. So, but I want to ask you, what do you have in store for Brooklyn if you are
L-
to become the next
Life. Life. I
Brooklyn Borough
want
president?
life. I want to pump life back into Brooklyn. The reason why Brooklyn has lost its taste is because of division. It's because of the inadequacy of the politicians to correlate with the community. I want to be able to be the bridge between nations to create one nation,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
I feel that the community has of humanity have lost its cause, right? We have the black and brown over here, we have the Russians over here, we have the Asians over here, we have the Caucasians over here, and we are one nation, we are one body. And I believe that if we have someone like myself in office to make sure that we are able to bridge the gap, right? That's what I want to do. I want to be able to bridge the gap. I want to be able to make sure that our community understands that they have somebody that can execute. They have somebody that they can believe in, right? And it's not about me. It's not about me wanting to become the mayor or the governor or using the backs of the voters that trusted in me to become the bold president for my own ulterior motives. So what I want to do, man, I want to do prison reform.
Mhm.
Prison reform is
Mhm.
huge. One of the statistics, I was on the phone with the district attorney. I was on the phone with the district attorney, and he told me a staggering statistic. Staggering statistic. Um, brother, can you help me out right here? Because I want to put you guys on Instagram too. He told me a staggering statistic, right? And this statistics is there is 62 counties in New York State, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
62 counties in New York
62.
State, right? And out of men that have 25 years to life, out of men that have 25 years to life,
Mhm.
right? One third of them are from Brooklyn, New York,
Wow.
right? So out of 62 counties in New York State, one third of them are from Brooklyn, New York, right?
Wow.
Which means that one third of Brooklyn have broken houses,
Mhm. Mhm.
minimum one third, right? And we need someone that's in office that's going to be able to be a voice for the voiceless, right? I was in prison illegally for 6 years, so I was able to be beside men that were in prison illegally. Also, I was able to see the hearts of men that was in prison, and even able to see the tears of the family members of the men that's in prison, right? I heard the tears, I heard their pain, because it came from me also.
Mhm.
So I'm the type of person, I would be the president that can be effective in a community in its totality. I've been fatherless all my life. My mom raised me. So therefore, I grew up eating pork and beans and franks.
Mhm. Mhm.
Peanut butter and jelly was one of my favorite meals.
Still
Um,
is for me.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, and I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a career man, so I can talk with the best. I've helped so many elected officials get into office. I'm well rounded, right?
Mhm.
And I'm not a sellout, right?
Mhm.
And that's what we've been doing. Einstein said, insanity is to expect change doing the same thing. And do you know we did a statistic that from the ages of 18 to 45, 95% of them didn't know that there was a borough president of Brooklyn,
Wow.
right? And then another staggering statistic: 90% of black and brown people never even knew that it was a borough president. They never even voted for
Mhm.
for a borough
Mhm.
president. So we have an untapped vote, right? We have a vote that um, is untapped, right? They can't count us,
Mhm.
but I'm counting on us to come out and vote. You know what I mean? So
How do you
this,
make that happen?
so if you look at my pages, right, I have the streets, I have influences, I have people that are tangible, people that we listen to on the radio every day, that are speaking out on my behalf, that is endorsing me. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So I
Mm-hmm.
have a voice that the voiceless listen to,
Mm-hmm.
and all of my endorsers and everybody that has endorsed me, whether it's male or female, they have all they have influence out here, right? So therefore, if they don't know me, they know them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And one thing about the streets is not going to endorse you if they don't trust you.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
I got gang members endorsing me.
Yeah.
I have rappers, I have
George Floyd's
actresses.
brother.
Yeah. You know, that right there was something in
Mm-hmm.
itself, man. When
Mm-hmm.
he stayed, when Terrence Floyd, that's my friend and my brother, that's George Floyd's brother. You know, we were sitting in my car.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I first met him, I had to speak at his brother's event that they had, and I did the opening prayer. So we
Mm-hmm.
started to talk before that, and I was telling him about my dad, and he didn't know that my father was the first to be choked to death. You know, my father was the first, his brother was the last, right?
Wow.
And the Bible says the last shall be
The
first and the
first.
first shall be
Right,
last, right?
right, right.
So we had a conversation, and we were just talk we was talking, and he was telling me how we were just cross-referencing our feelings as to um
So sad.
people, families that have to deal with the trauma of looking at the police department as a protection, but they also murdered our
Mm.
family members,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And to see all of the activism that's out here, and I put that in quotation because
Uh-oh.
activism has became the new hustle, right? So now everybody's on TV and everybody's doing this,
With
but
the
nobody
camera
feel our
on.
pain. Yeah, nobody
Mm-hmm.
feel our pain. And we're looking at them, at people that's not genuinely doing this, as ambulance chasers,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're using our feelings and our emotions to trick the world, but yet we're the ones that's crying at home. So we had a conversation, man, and we just talking, man. I was just like, and I told him when Eric Gardner died, you know, me being 6 weeks old when my father died, I told him, I said, I said, yo, T, man, I said, my father died June 14th, 1978, right?
Oh, I'm so
And
sorry.
I
Oh my
said
God.
to him, I said, yo, T, I went as far as Googling to see when Father's Day was in 1978, just to see if my father was here
Mm.
on that day, right?
Mm.
And I said, yo, T, I Googled it, and I said, Father's Day was June the 18th, 1978, and he died 4 days before Father's Day. I said, so I never was able to even have a Father's Day with my dad.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, and I just said, it blows my mind to the feelings that we have as a family member of a lost person due to racism
Mm-hmm.
within the police department.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I told him, I said, and when I saw Eric Gardner being choked by the police department, I told him that, you know, I said, I shut down. I said, I'm a very strong person. I said, I was a pastor during the time. And I said, I shut down because I never knew, I never had a vision, or I never knew how to see what happened to my father, right? I always heard what happened, but nobody never gave me a visual,
Mm-hmm.
right? But when Eric Gardner got choked and he was saying he can't breathe, right? My mind went somewhere else. And the first question I asked was, did my father say he can't breathe?
Yeah.
Like, because
Yeah.
in 1978, there was no
Cameras.
cameras,
Right. Right.
right? And in 1978, all we had was the testimony of black and brown men that wasn't respected.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter about the witnesses. 16 police still got off. And the same thing happened with Eric Gardner, even though we had the tape. And I told Terrence, I said, bro, it was your family that I said it was your family that gave me justice. I said it took me 43 years to get justice, but it was through your brother. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And he started to talk and to lament as well, as far as the pain that he has to go through,
Mm-hmm.
and how people use him, and we was just sitting back, just having
So
a
interesting.
heart-to-heart conversation. No politics. He said, Bishop, man, he said, yo, we need to tape this, man. We need to tape some of this, because I want everybody to know I'm endorsing
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm.
So we I put the camera on the phone on for 3 minutes, then I got out of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because some things are personable. You know what I mean? Everything doesn't need to be on TV.
Yeah, yeah,
I
or
don't
in
need to
front of
tell my
every social
story,
media.
for people to to feel sorry for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I tell my story for people to understand who I am, and to never give up, right? Me running for the board presidency is not for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for me. My mentor is the board president now, Eric Adams.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, um, I'm running for borough president to for the world, the voiceless, to say, yo, I could do it if he did
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah, he's
You-
just like me.
yeah, he just
Yeah,
like me. Like,
yeah,
yeah, like
yeah.
he's just like me.
So I want to ask you this. After sharing, the tragic incident that snatched your father out of your life at 6 weeks,
Mhm.
and then fast forwarding to George Floyd being snatched from his daughter's life and his children's life, at the hands of the police. What type of programs do you have, or maybe organizations that you're working with, that can help teach our children, the youth of Brooklyn, black and brown, how to react when they are, engaging with the police?
Um,
How are we
so
going to keep our youths from being the next George Floyd?
right. So there's going to be, under my administration, a revamping, right? Because the same people are getting the same money, and the same things are happening, and it's getting worse, right? I want to be able to, I want to pump a lot of money into our community, but I need to put money in places where we're open minded, not closed minded. I think one of the issues that we have in our community is that we isolate ourselves. And I think that we keep talking about and having the same storyline of black and brown people, right? Because it's only happening to us, what's happening to us. But I don't think no one has bridged the gap, or even tried to make a bridge between the Asian community and the black and brown community, the Russian community and the black and brown community, or the Russian community and the Asian community, right? And I think that we are getting picked on because we're not one body. And I think that if Brooklyn unites as one, then we will be able to um, stop systemic racism, right? So, what would I do for black and brown communities, right? The organizations that I want to fund are organizations that understand that the white Caucasians and Asians and Russians are not the enemy, right? I want to be able to fund um, organizations that is going to lift our children up, not make us mad, right? Because why do I say that though? Because that's what they tried to get me to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I heard about my dad, of how good he was, and how they hate the police officers because of what they did. It was only
Mm.
16 of them that was involved with that. So how
Oh
could
my,
we hate?
yeah.
How could we hate the whole NYPD?
Mm-hmm.
I have friends that's on the police department,
Right,
right?
right.
So how can I pick up um vengeance,
Mm-hmm.
right? As to all policing, right? All policing ain't bad, but we have to reform wrong policing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
So I want to fund companies. I want to fund, excuse me, foundations. I want to fund 501c3s that are not brokenhearted, right?
Mm.
Because if
Mm-hmm.
hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's out there, that we have so many um I like this cure violence, right? These cure violence, because we allowed Bill de Blasio to trick us. He said he was going to come in like Robin Hood, and he just came in to rob the hood.
Mm-hmm.
And then he pumped out a few millions of dollars to put into cure violence, just to put a band-aid, because a lot of the cure violence sites in Brooklyn, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. All they do is sit there and employ their friends, and they drinking and smoking inside of their organizations. See, I'm out here, so I know
Right.
what's up. Like, I
Right.
know it's so you have a borough president that's out here that knows what's going on. I'm not sending nobody to do nothing. I'm going out there myself,
Nice.
whether wherever it is,
Mhm.
whatever community it is. I'm going out there to see myself. So I'm ready to roll my sleeves up and get my hands dirty.
Mhm.
So therefore, we can figure out how to do this. And I don't want the black and brown community to isolate ourselves, where therefore it cut off our nose to spite our face. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I
Yeah.
want to, first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to put a lot of money into the community,
Mm-hmm.
a lot into
And
the
that's
school.
what a Brooklyn borough president does. They manage huge budgets.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
one of the things that I said, well, what exactly does a Brooklyn borough president do?
yeah.
Because again, as I mentioned, Marty Markowitz knew how to throw a good party.
Right.
Always speaking at graduations, right?
Yeah.
Right? But putting money into the community where it is needed. That
Right.
is your plan.
Right. There's so many schools that need money, right? It's it's so elementary, like it's logic, right? Our children are outside in gangs. Gun violence has risen. How did violence rise? When you close the doors from the schools,
And you cut off
when you
arts
cut
and
off
music and
community
yeah.
centers,
Hmm.
when you cut off all the things that kept us inside, right?
And active and
And
busy.
right.
Yeah.
So how do you cut off the schools from after school programs? How do you close down the community centers and then say, "Oh, well, gun violence rise"? What else are they to do?
Right.
You
Yeah.
don't put money into athleticism, right? I want to build Brooklyn its own athletic league
Hmm.
where we fund it,
Hmm.
because I'm in tune. My son played basketball. I played basketball. I was one of the leading scorers in New York City. So
Okay.
I understand athleticism,
Hmm.
right? So if we pump money, because a lot of these children's parents cannot afford the things
Right.
that's needed,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And why do we only offer basketball and football? What happened to baseball? What happened
Hmm.
to golf? What happened to tennis? What happened
Chess.
to lacrosse?
Yeah.
Chess?
Hmm.
There's so many things that we can go to college for free for,
Yeah.
but in the black and brown community, if you don't know how to shoot the ball or run it with the football,
That's it. Hmm.
you done,
Hmm.
because we don't have anything else to offer. We have been so small-minded,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we've allowed everyone that said that they was going to help us hurt us.
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, right? This Saturday, right? The polls open, early voting. And it's up to us. Like, you can only blame yourself.
Hmm.
If you got somebody that look like you got somebody that been through the struggle.
Walk the walk.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I'm divorced. I had baby mama drama, right? So what makes me so different from you?
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
happily married now. And I don't cheat on my wife,
Hmm.
right? This is the first time Brooklyn will ever have a first family,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And a president that's not sleeping around,
Hmm.
right? So therefore, all the young men that think that they Uncle TT or Uncle Ray Ray said you got to have more than one girl in
Hmm.
order to be a man, look at me, right?
That's why I wish your wife was here because I love y'all love. I, I always do my research on my guests and I went through I love y'all love. When is the book? Where's the courses? Because you guys have something that you need to share. You guys have a blueprint that needs to be shared with other people, right? I feel a book. I was looking for a book. I was looking for something.
Right.
So just wanted to let you
Well, let me say that. Let me say this, right? Me and my wife,
how'd y'all
uh,
meet?
how did me and my wife? So I was in the church that I grew up in, right? So it was a convocation, and I was sitting in a pulpit with the bishops, and her mom, who's my mother-in-law, who passed last year. Um,
God rest her soul.
yeah.
Hmm.
Um, she was a pastor, so she came and set up with clergy.
Hmm.
My wife was her armor bearer, and I saw, her, and I said, wow, okay. Like, what did I see this blonde haired girl walking the church? I said, all right. I said, okay. So, me, I'm not like these other guys all thirsty. I ain't got time for that. So I said, all
Hmm.
right. I said, all right, cool, no problem.
I
I
was
said, all
cool
right.
with it.
Yeah, I said, I see that, right? But she was so um focused,
Hmm.
right? So what I admired about her was um her stick to itiveness to what she came there to do. That's what I'm like, oh, all right. And so her mom came to my church to preach. Her mother introduced herself to me. We introduced each other and we was talking. And I had an event coming up. And was her mother was older in her 60s, but her mother was fly,
Hmm.
right? Her
Hmm.
mother was like a young girl could look at her and say, yo,
Hmm.
I want to be that
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
get to
yeah,
her
yeah.
age,
I
right?
know the type.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like that right there
Yeah.
is was lit right
Yeah.
there, like Dax. Like she wear
Nice.
that real good. So
Nice.
I was having something because I created I don't know if people, I don't know if your viewers go to church, but we have something called the 7 last words of Jesus Christ
Hmm.
on Good Friday,
Hmm.
and that's leading up to Easter. So it's usually 7 preachers and they preach one of the words of God.
Nice.
I changed that whole theory and I had 7 preachers and 7 rappers. Yeah,
You just, yes, because that
yeah,
was leading into that
yeah, yeah,
about the event. Okay, but go. 7 preachers, 7 rappers.
yeah,
Now, why would you come up with an idea like that? And then, I mean, like, did you trust it? Were you sound in it? Did people say, what are you crazy?
yeah, yeah. All of the traditional preachers said, "Am I crazy?" But now they're trying to follow my lead. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Change is going to frustrate comfortability, right? And when you see, I'm not a game changer. I'm a world changer. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't invest in changing the game because people can easily go to another game.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
God has made me a world changer. So
Hmm.
what happened was the preachers are not the only one that have a voice for the Lord, right? And I always say that rappers are actually prophets. They just need to understand who to tune into. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
And if if the first word was Father, forgive them for they know not what they do, right? It can come from a biblical standpoint, right? From a preacher, and it could come from a biblical standpoint from a rapper, but they can both feel a little different,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
A preacher can say, Father, forgive, and we can go into the whole epistemology of forgiveness and why God has forgiven and God will forgive your sins. But when a rapper raps about it, he might say, Father, how can I forgive? I understand you are my strength. But how can
So
you
give
give me the
guidance.
the
Hmm.
the the, the artwork of forgiveness? And you died to forgive me, and now I understand forgiveness. But these streets is hard. It comes from a different lane, right? Because we have to understand, if we do the research on linguistics, the study of linguistics, right, the study of language, right, we don't all speak the same language,
Right.
but we serve the same God,
Right.
right?
Right.
So wherever a preacher can't touch, a rapper might touch.
Right.
That's why the rapper
Disciples.
50 Cent,
Hmm.
when he came,
Shout out to 50 Cent.
yeah, yeah, he got saved under my ministry.
Very nice.
When he came to,
Was he still saved? Okay.
you can't unrevoke your salvation. You
Okay.
could just do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
That's it. But he came to, I had did a service called the Church Honors Hip Hop, where
Very
I
nice.
honor rappers. And when he came, you know what I preached? Get the strap. And I explained that the strap was prayer. The strap was the Holy Spirit,
The word.
the
Yeah.
Bible.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I explained what the strap is in the street, but how we flip it and understand what the strap really is in the spirit realm.
Yeah.
And he got on the stage and he said, I never heard it like that. And he says, you're different, you know and if anybody know 50, he's a straightforward person. And that's why I did the 7 last words. I put seven preachers versus verses versus the rappers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got to be a verse. You know what I'm saying? It got to
Yeah.
be a verse from the
Yeah.
scripture.
Nice.
And it was very powerful. So that's where I met my wife. And my wife, she came in and she was a singer. And her mom told me she was a singer. I said, all right.
Beautiful
I
voice.
said, oh, all right. I said, go ahead and I said, come on up here, Elder Asia. And she came up. She looked. I'm the bishop. Yep. Come on up here. Yep. Yep. And that's the power of
Put
the
on the
bishop. If
spot.
you're in my church and I say, you come on, come on, come
You
on,
gotta
and you
go.
gotta go. There you go. So I said, go ahead up there and sing. And she sung, and I was standing up, and I'm looking, and I looked at her, and the Lord said, that's gonna be your wife.
Wow.
Literally, like just like
See,
that. Just said, that's gonna be your wife. And
the Lord spoke
I said, oh,
and he
okay.
listened.
I said, okay. But to go into what you asked as far as where's our love just doesn't come out of clear blue skies, right? Our love is conquering problems,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm.
Right? How do we deal with problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all have issues, we all have life, day-to-day
Mm-hmm.
life, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you recover from a problem? And when you look at the the gift of a problem, right? Anytime you take a test, there's problems on the test. And you got to be able to be equipped and studied for the answer. That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
So we get so afraid about the problem, but yet God trusted us with the answer, right? So at the end of the day, me and my wife, and we're still learning. We're
Mm-hmm.
still
Mm-hmm.
learning and we're still pushing, but we have learned to understand how to deal with the problem, even if people think it's worse than what it is, right? And that's where it comes from. And I believe that our love comes from a place only God can give, right? It don't come from a place of the world, right? The world is taught to break relationships or built off of things that's not of God, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's why people fall so hard. And I love my wife. I adore my wife, and now you know she has our first child together in her stomach, and we just lost twins in
Oh
December.
wow, so
Yeah, yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah. She was pregnant with twins, and we seen the babies,
Mm.
and we seen the heartbeat, and then we went back, and
Oh,
yeah, so that was traumatizing, right?
mm-hmm.
And we hugged each other, we cried together, but I said we believe God, and now she's pregnant again, and so we understand the recovery point, right?
Mm-hmm.
We understand how to recover. We understand,
That's
you
so
know,
important.
yeah, and then another thing that's important, we have people that love us around us.
Yeah, you gotta have your
You know
village.
what I'm saying?
Gotta
You,
have
you
your
you
village.
we have people that love us. So even let's say if I didn't want to talk to my wife, trust me, somebody gonna say you gotta talk to her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I got some real stubborn preachers, female
Good,
preachers,
good.
elders,
Yeah,
that
good.
that love us, and I got some deacons that love their bishop, and I got some friends that they're always on the wall praying for us. So
Beautiful.
that love it comes from prayer. It
Mm-hmm.
comes from an understanding of who God is in our life, and that's what I want to administer to Brooklyn, right? I want to be able to administer love, right? I think love is so underrated, and I
Yeah.
think love is underrated because of the emotional trauma that we have to deal with every day as
Yeah.
black and brown individuals because of systemic racism, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't we able to get what others have, right?
Right.
When we look in the what district is that? District 52. District 52 is over here in Park Slope, right? They have a 70% ELA, right? Reading, right?
Yeah.
And 70% math. But when you go into District 55 in Brownsville, it's 7%
Mm. Yeah, some things are
ELA.
right.
Right? What how,
It
how in the
doesn't it
world?
doesn't
How
make sense.
how
It
can I
can't. It's like
like come on, it's only 15 minutes away from
yeah,
each other.
yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
what is actually going on? How are children during an age that we just came out of a pandemic where you have schools that have shut down and we have online learning, but kids still don't have computers?
Yeah.
And how is the broadband, which is Wi-Fi, down in Brownsville, but up
Wow.
in Park Slope?
Right. Yeah.
Where,
That.
but think about this though. But think about this. It's up in Park Slope. It's up in Clinton Hills, right? And listen to this statistic: Park Slope, Clinton Hills, downtown Brooklyn are the highest voters, right? They're the ones that come out, and that's why it's so important for us to come out and vote,
Yeah.
right?
Right. Yeah. And you have an event that's going to bring the people out, bring them out, bring them out Monday. That is
Yeah,
tomorrow.
that's tomorrow. Yeah,
And you're giving an opportunity to artists, which I think is amazing,
right, right,
right?
right,
So
right.
they get to come and perform
Yeah,
and get some visibility in front of people they never would have even gotten into a room with
right, right,
previously,
right.
right?
Well, yeah, well, we're doing a fundraiser. This is our final fundraiser, and we're looking for 300 people to donate $175. But we having all the
Well, I'm going to
rappers.
donate
Thank you so much. Yeah,
175.
yeah, yeah. So uh, we're asking 300 people to donate, because your 175 in New York City will be matched 8 times by the city. So
Oh, everybody needs to donate. Are you
yeah,
kidding me? So
yeah.
175 donation and the city takes picks up the 8 times?
Yeah, so it's 1,400 plus your 175, so that's actually
That's
1,575.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay, we can do that.
yeah, yeah,
We
yeah,
can do that,
yeah.
people.
But we haven't voted, right, and we haven't donated, so it's kind of hard for us to understand. Like, I can't spend my own money, right? I only can spend campaign money
Right.
in
Well, yeah,
order,
you yeah.
yeah, in order for it to be legal,
Mhm.
right? So we have commercials all over the place, and we're pushing for these last 2 weeks. So, I like opening the doors for the voiceless, and we're having a fundraiser at Bentley's in Brooklyn. I'm starting at 6 p.m. You guys can go on
I posted it
yeah, oh,
too.
all
I
right, yep,
posted the flyers
it's
on the
posted.
Firestorm every page. It is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
yeah. And one thing that I want to touch on really briefly,
Mhm.
I keep getting the question about defunding the police, right? And I
Mhm.
just want to be clear with this, right? I want to be clear with the this question of the defunding of the police, right? Because everybody know how the NYPD, the 77 precinct in 1978 was killed my father. So the question comes: Are you going to Are you going to push to defund the police? And the answer is no, right? That's the answer. I want to be clear with that, because when it's so easy to say defund the police until they're not there.
And then what happens when they're not there?
Right, right,
What
right.
happens when they're not there?
Exactly.
Who's going to save you?
Exactly. So I want y'all to understand that my administration is not going to be based off of emotions, right? My administration is going to be based off of the principles of making sure that our community is safe, and making sure our community has love and has money to do what it needs to do. Now, what I am going to do, I'm going to sit down with the chiefs, and I'm going to sit down with the commissioner, right? Because if, let's say, I wanted to defund the police $25 million, right? Which I'm not. Why would I take $25 million from the police department and create a separation between police and the community?
Mm,
Right? So they say, oh,
nightmare.
well, we need these 25 million so we can build a school, or we can have these programs. Okay, so why can't we have the NYPD build or create the same program, but let it be an NYPD initiative?
Mhm.
So now we be able to come together as one person, as one people.
Partnership, right?
Partnership, right?
Hmm.
So now it will stop the systemic racism, because guess what? The NYPD is actually a part of the community. So they're going to look at us as family, and not just look at us as people that's breaking the law, right? So this is what I want to bring to the table, and that's why I'm running for Brooklyn Borough President. And I thank you for having me.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We need everybody to come out Monday at Bentley's Lounge. Starts at 6
Yeah.
p.m. Artists, you want to perform, you want to get seen by a lot of influential people. You need to be there tomorrow. The information's on my page. Shout out to Lynn Hobson,
Yeah. My
my sis
PR.
Lynn Hobson. She is the
Yes,
best.
she is.
So yeah, so we are going to make sure that I'll be there. I'll be in the building. I'm going to donate 175. I won't sing. I won't get on the stage. Nobody wants to hear me sing anymore, but
Yeah.
I'll donate my 175 to your campaign because I like what you do. I
Amen.
like what you
Amen.
do. I like how you bridge hip hop and the word. I like how you do that. I
Yeah.
like how you're going to bridge hip hop, the word, and politics.
Mm,
All for
mm.
Brooklyn, because I am a Brooklyn girl all day, every day.
That's what I'm talking
So
about.
yeah, really excited about that. And what's next for you?
Well, let me give you guys the website so you guys
Yeah,
know how to donate and it goes straight to the city. So it's Whitehead 4. That's FORBK.com. So that's Whitehead4BK.com,
got it.
right? And you'll be able to have all the information. Um, Let me give you guys the upcoming dates. So tomorrow is the final fundraiser,
Mhm.
so therefore we can have the money to do what we need to do. This Saturday, I'm doing a give back, a free barbecue in Fort Greene,
I
Brooklyn.
grew up in Fort Greene,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Brooklyn,
So we're
102
going,
Monument.
yeah, so we're going in Fort Greene Park. We're going to
Yeah,
have basketball. We're going to have free food,
nice.
and we're going to be pushing. Also, um, next Sunday we're going to be in Canarsie Park where I'm doing a free give back. Stop the violence. I have a mentee. My mentee is Fabio Foreign, and Dusty Locane is going to be there.
Nice.
Yeah, and so we're going to be doing that on the 13th. And I would like all you guys to come out on the 14th, Monday, and we're going to be right there on Park Place and Notion Avenue. That is the place where they killed my father.
Oh,
So we're going to be there. I'll give
wow.
you guys the time. It's going to either be 12 or 2, but we're going to all be there to just
Lift his name
remember
up in
my
prayer. That's
father.
right. Yeah.
Remember my father
Hmm.
and what happened to him on the 14th.
Wow.
But listen, the polls open this Saturday, y'all. The polls open this Saturday. Go to my website. I'll be able to show you guys this week where to go. And what's next for me? You talking about today or?
Well, you gave it all.
Oh
But
yeah, 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 yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, you
yeah,
can keep going.
yeah,
Go.
yeah. So today I'm going to be moving. I'm going to be campaigning. I'm actually on my way to Coney Island. I'm going to my
Oh,
my
nice.
Coney Island. They have a big event that I have to speak at. My boy Corey K is doing something at the Amphitheater.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm going to
Very
be doing
nice.
something at the Amphitheater. If not the 12th, June 12th, it'll be June 18th. June 12th, June 18th, or June 12th or June 18th. One of
Okay.
those 2 days.
Okay.
I'll let
We'll
you
make
guys know.
sure I'll
Yeah,
get the information.
yeah,
I'll share it with the
yeah, yeah,
people.
yeah,
But you're going to be doing those
yeah.
type of events for the next two
The turn up,
years
the turn up.
because
Four,
listen,
4 years.
4 years. I'm sorry,
Yep,
4 years,
four.
four
Yep,
years.
yep.
Because listen, the borough president of Brooklyn, right, gives good parties.
Yo,
So
let me tell you something.
we expect
We
you
out
to
here.
turn them up like a lot of notches.
We
All
out here.
right.
We out here. Let me tell
Yeah.
you something. Miami, we gonna put Miami to shame because
Yeah.
people don't know that Brooklyn, if we were still a city, which and technically we are, but we will be the fourth largest city in the United States of
Yeah.
America.
Yeah. That's
Only
true.
Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York is bigger than us.
Mm-hmm.
We got 2.6 million people.
2.6 billion.
Million.
Million?
Too much.
Million?
Yeah, million. Yeah,
Million.
not
Oh,
billion.
not billion?
Dang.
Oh,
Oof.
I'm sorry.
That's the world, Craig.
Listen. Look, Brooklyn is
Yeah,
big to me, okay? I'm a
yeah,
little girl from Brooklyn, and Brooklyn is always home for me. Grew up in Fort Greene, grew up in Tilden, grew up in Clinton Hills, grew up in Park Slope. Then I grew my family in Park Slope. So
yeah.
yeah,
Well, we
but
here.
yeah, we're here
We
now.
here.
So yeah, we're gonna make sure that we come out, we show out, right? We got to make sure that we get the bishop into the office of the next borough president of BK all day. That's
That's
what's
right.
up. Well,
That's
thank
right.
you for joining me today. I'm looking at knowledge. He's like, yeah, it's time. I do. All right. So okay. So Sean says he loves. It doesn't seem all hate now. Okay, listen, the bishop is here. You can't curse. And then he says, sorry to hear about the brother and his wife's loss. Sorry to
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
about your
yeah,
loss
yeah,
and
yeah,
your wife's loss.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Hey, Jay, you're late. Did you have school today, Jay? Sorry. Did you have school today? All right. Jay's late. I'm turning it. Okay. So that's about it. All right. Well, we are done. We did have another guest, Phyllis. I'm going to have to reschedule. I really would like for you to come into the studio because she's our fitness guru and she's everywhere. Phyllis Spencer. It's her time. But I'll make it up to you, darling. Oh, you graduated. That's right. I'm sorry, Jay. Jay did graduate. Congratulations, Jay. Yeah, so thank you all for tuning in. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here today. Oh, there she is. Oh, she's here. Hey, KB. Shout out to Kevin Bracey of Plush Vodka. Sorry, KB, we can't drink today. The bishop is here. So do people kind of change like their movement when you're in the room, when you walk into the room?
Yeah, they do.
Of
But
course
you
they
know,
do.
yeah, they do. But I tell people, listen, be yourself. Don't try to force. Of course, respect who I am.
Yes.
But a lot of people respect who I am, especially the rappers. They be like, all right, Bishop.
Hey, hey. So I'm sorry. So sorry. We got to put it here. 'Cause you can't see me. Oh, we got 4 minutes. So Phyllis, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to reschedule because we were delayed, and but we're gonna do a full day with you. I'd love for you to come into the studio and teach me some of your cool moves. Um, yeah, I think that would be so fly. I appreciate you. Look how beautiful she is. Listen, every time you turn on TV, Phyllis is on TV.
Yeah.
I'm sitting and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm watching Wendy. I know her. There's Phyllis on TV. Cool. Thank you so much. What did I say? See the Today Show later this month. Okay, we're gonna get all that information when you come on. All right. Mwah. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. That's right. Love yourself better is her motto. Oh my goodness. And your wife, you are a champion.
Yeah, yeah. Make
And
sure
her
y'all
breakfast, her
yeah, make sure
breakfasts
y'all
that she
follow my
has.
wife.
Yeah, please give that information. I'll
Yeah,
share it.
yeah, yeah.
I share
Follow
it.
my wife, y'all. All the women, you guys are champions. Every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Go on her Instagram page. It's Lady Asia Champion, and her Facebook page is Asia Doshris Whitehead. But go on her Instagram. That's easier. Lady Asia Champion. Every morning, Monday through
Yep.
Friday at 8 a.m. She's a
Mm-hmm.
powerhouse, y'all.
Yes,
She's a
she is.
powerhouse.
Yes,
She
she
is a
is.
powerhouse.
All right. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate you all. Talk to you soon. And listen, Monday, we'll be there in the building. All right. Bye.
All right.